I was studying this week in Matthew 6. That's our Sunday school, and I think a half hour is never long enough, is it? So we can dwell on some of that now also. But in Matthew chapter 6, verse 19 through the end of the chapter, verse 34, 19 to 34, it talks about things that, one thing it talks about, it says we can trust in money or we can trust in God. Verse 24 says, no one can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or he will be devoted to one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and mammon, or God and wealth. What does that look like in my life? The next verse says, therefore I say unto you, take no thought for your life, what ye shall eat or what ye shall drink, nor yet for your body what ye shall put on. Is not the life more than meat, and the body than raiment? Do not be worried about your life. Do I worry about my life? Do I get anxious about what will I eat next year? What will I eat tomorrow? Will I be able to buy clothing? Will I be able to take the trips I want to take? Will I, we have all these things. Will I be okay as I get older and can't work as hard? Am I trusting in my own strength, or am I trusting in God? The word worry literally means to strangle. If you're worried about what you're wearing, eating or drinking, about what you have or don't have materially, your personality will be tied in knots and strangled. Reading this out of John Corson's commentary. He said, I once read that it takes 60 trillion droplets of fog to cover 7 city blocks. Now, 60 trillion droplets, or 7 city blocks worth of fog, can close down airports and tie up cities. Yet if you condense those 60 trillion fog droplets, you would end up with only half a glass of water. Half a glass of water can shut a city down. What can half a glass of worry do to me? It can shut me down, right? And at the end of the day, it's just half a glass. It's not even a full glass. That's a good picture of what worry is all about. You begin with something little, only half a glass of water, but you start thinking about it and wrestling with it and wondering, how is this going to work out? How am I going to do that? And before long, you can't see straight and your airport is shut down. You're not hearing from the Lord, and you're not soaring with the Lord as you once did, because you're all fogged in. Jesus said, don't take any anxious thought whatsoever. Don't let worry strangle you. Don't end up in a fog. And we probably all can connect with this, right? We end up in a fog. I was, about half the mornings lately, I've been sitting out in Charlotte's flower garden. And for a while, at first, I really liked the cosmos. They're just these pale colored flowers that on tall stems, and they really grew well this year. So I'd sit there and enjoy those, but now there's some other flowers that really took off. Cleome, is that how you say it? Cleome? And it's a spider, they call it a spider flower, but it's got these long, can't think of the name for it, that comes out that holds the pollen, but it's just this spiky looking flower, and I've been enjoying those. But as I sit out there this morning, because of Matthew 6, I was thinking about, it says, why do we worry? Look at the flowers, and God clothes them. So it's a good reminder. I enjoy them so much. God gives us these flowers, and He puts the beauty in them, right? God has created you and me and puts the beauty in us. The beauty of His character. The beauty of freedom in Christ. I was starting to as I look at the year ahead, there's a lot of things to plan. And I can't do this. And I find myself shutting down. But you know what? It's not me that has to do all that. I need to show up and be available and trust that God will do the things that only He can do, and I can keep doing the things that I can do. But Patrick and he was talking about walking by the Spirit this morning. Am I available to walk by the Spirit, trusting that He will provide the things that I cannot do? We all have things in our lives, I'm sure you do, I do, that I'm looking at, and I was like, I don't know what to do about that. I don't have an answer for that. I don't have a place to do that. Just a lot of things. It's like, well, you know what? It's not my game anyway. It's His game. I'm just one of His sons. And so why worry? I'm just like those flowers that trust God for the water. And other people, my wife, she waters them and nourishes them. God has provision for us. So that was remember the flowers.